Moving on real quick. There was an interview that I just wanted to mention this real quick. That was conducted by Devon Dudley. Uh, why are you laughing?
It's just weird here you said interview conducted by Devon. Like, I wonder what that's like.
Well, Devon Dudley has his podcast. I forgot what it's called.
Devon Dudley has a
Yo, that's what I said. That's what, because look, Bully Ray has a podcast.
Busted Open.
Yeah, or Busted Open, which Busted Open is pretty cool.
Yeah. Because they have like him, Mark Henry, Tommy Dreamer, and Dave LaGreca in there. So yeah.
Yeah. And Devon was he talked to Kofi Kingston. And he was talking to Kofi Kingston, and then he was, giving him praise, and he was just like, how does it feel that you were the first African American world champion? So, you know what Kofi said?
Yeah, I saw what he said, but you can go ahead and say it.
Okay. He said, he corrected Devon and said, he wasn't the first one. The Rock was the first one. And this is what Kofi said, and I'm bringing it up because I have been doing this fight for the past 4 years on this podcast. Here's what he said. I think it's silly that people try not to count The Rock in that category. Regardless of what you look like, you are what you are. He's black. Whether he's half black, he's black. I definitely take a lot of pride in that sentiment, like you said. I think for a long time, people of color, especially African Americans, have been waiting for someone who looks exactly like them to hold that title. And I get it. When they see, I had an interview with a wrestler years ago named Major McLean. Quattro hooked me up with it. He was a friend of his. And he was, I think he wrestled for Monster Factory.
Okay.
And this interview, it's not even on, because obviously we're doing a new channel now, so it's not even on the channel anymore. But he had an interview, and I remember in this interview, he didn't consider The Rock black.
Okay.
And at the time, once again, every time I say that, I'm offended by that. But at the time, I was very new on YouTube and on podcasting, so I was very low, trying to get the subscribers up. I'm blowing smoke up your ass, in other words. But he could tell that I kind of had a problem saying that, but I didn't say anything. But then after that, and I created the platform, I'm like, you know what? No, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of The Rock gets so much disrespect from his own people. We as black people always find somehow to throw somebody else underneath the bus that don't result. We seen Jesse Jackson say that about Barack Obama.
I don't know if it's any. Well, I know some people they do mean it like that. I think what some people just mean is like a dark person, basically.
Look, is The Rock palatable? Absolutely. That's what they do. He's palatable, but to take away the accomplishment that he has done is not fair. That's what I'm going to. If a light skinned, African American guy, like I said, the Rock can't help what complexion he is, and like I said, The Rock also never turned his back towards his black race. He never has. People make this stuff up, or they say that he has. And once again, with the XFL, if it becomes successful, they're going to try to dig up some stuff. But The Rock has been a proud Samoan and a proud black man. And then in Hollywood, they try to cast him as racially ambiguous. Until The Rock started stepping up and be like, no, I'm going to do things my way.
I listen to this other podcast, and some people, they not serious with this, but like the jokes that they make kind of do sound weird, because it was like, what's the next movie? The Rock gonna have 2 kids. Why is all his kids are like not like dark black? He always got a white woman with him when he's married on the movies and stuff.
Yeah, only time that The Rock was ever interested, well, in Hollywood, they made him interested in a black woman was when he had that cameo at the end of Why'd I Get Married To with Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Yeah, and I'm like, but even then, he's always they always cast The Rock as racially ambiguous. Now they did in Rampage cast him. His name was Dr. Okoye. That is the most African name you got, and he was, and then they gave his quotation, heavy quotation, love interest as a black woman in Rampage.
About a gorilla.
Say what? About a gorilla. I know, but I'm saying, but the actors that they had in there. So that was the only time that's coming to my mind about that. But then if you look at Skyscraper, it's like, okay, Skyscraper, he had like his Hispanic woman, and you could tell his kids were clearly mixed. They didn't even used to give Rock mixed kids.
Yeah.
Because if you look at San Andreas, you're like, wait, who? What? Like if seriously, I'm like, if you're looking at that, you're like, wait a minute. And then you could tell like even her mom got something with her. But I'm just like, but that's what they've been. That's how they've been treating The Rock. And I'm like, look, I remember when Major McClain said that he ain't no N-word. I'm not gonna use that on the word. I'm like, well, what does that mean? Do they gotta be dark? Do they gotta be hood? Do they gotta be like the saying that Barack Obama will always be known as the first African American president? So why is Jesse Jackson giving him that shit? Because his mom was white? Because definitely this society, this America, that whole one drop it, they don't care. They gonna still treat you like that. And like Kofi saying, it's silly that, okay, I understand people want to see people like Champ that looks like, that's darker or that what they call noticeably black. Because you can, if they had gave the championship to D'Lo Brown, he's more noticeably black than The Rock is. But I'm like, but how? They got the same skin complexion. But maybe because D'Lo Brown got a rap.
Does the D'Lo walk?
He does the strut. He got the rap music. He got the short haircut. Maybe that's why. But I'm like, but the Rock had, first of all, The Rock was being an urban youth when he was first in there. Them $500 shirts, them shape ups from Lucky, stuff like that. I mean, like, then he went and got the tattoo, so he can be proud of both of them. But I don't like how they just cast him out. It says the likes of Booker T and Mark Henry have also held world titles in the company, but they held the world championship. The Rock was the only African American before Kofi Kingston to hold the WWE championship, winning it 8 times. And I brought it up because I was just like, I like that Kofi gives him props because we as people need to uplift our own people instead of trying to tear them down. And I like the Rock never came out, not to my knowledge. You could probably find something if you dig deep enough, but never came out and said anything. Never showed no hate towards it. Him and Dan Garcia produced a show on BET called what was that? It was about that cops killing unarmed black men show.
Oh, okay. I forgot what it's called. I know what you're talking about. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, but it was something. It was something just that they did. They did that, and he's done so much, for his culture. It represents it. Gets things shout out. But The Rock is one of them guys that's just like, I'm a human being, and I believe in human rights. I believe in that. Of course, our people don't get the many rights in the beginning or at all. So he's gonna fight for that. But I'm just like, but some people feel as though that he's not black enough, which is not fair. And you don't have to always saying it with Michael Jackson. I'm like, I can go in the whole conversation about that, but I'm not. But I'm just like, what do these people gotta act like urban youths on camera for them to prove that to you? Do they have to say certain things? I'm like, because y'all pick and choose. I'm like, it's good to have him on the side, and that's not fair. And I'm glad he said, because if Kofi answered that question and was like, yo man, it's phenomenal, but him to be like, no man, don't ever give me that credit. It was The Rock. He started this thing. He started this trend, and it's like, well, well, he was Samoan. No, he's black too, and that's what society's gonna look at him, and he knows that.